Life. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. Welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, where the power of the Spirit is ever present and we embrace an interfaith perspective. It's very good to see familiar faces in the congregation and online. And we also say a big hello to everybody that's new joining us today. It's a pleasure to introduce our guest medium, Barbara Potts. So please give her a warm welcome as she opens our service in prayer. Thank you.
Please join me in prayer. Father God, Divine Spirit, thank you for your loving presence here today in this beautiful church. I thank you, the audience, for coming to the service on Sunday morning, full of hope and anticipation that you will receive not just the blessings and support of your loved ones in the other world, but also the healing energy that radiates around the room. And so I'm going to ask my guides and helpers to come close, to bring forward your loved ones, and we will have a wonderful service. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. Now, please join me to still our hearts and our minds as we pray for all those people, children and animals in need of spiritual healing, love and light across the planet, in places of war and conflict, nations affected by natural disasters, everyone involved in rescue operations and foreign aid, our National Health Service, the selfless doctors and nurses who work tirelessly for our well-being. We pray for peace in our time and the abolition of atrocities and violence. And we thank the power of the Holy Spirit for giving us strength in times of despair. We include at this time the following names from our church healing list: Natalie, Grant, Elizabeth, Kareem, Leah, Tyson, Liz Walsh, Ruby, Daphne, Ivor, Jeff, Ivan, Jay McKenna, Pat Ward, Anne, Irene, Sarah, Frank, Olivia, Quentin, Janice, Anne Hopkins, Stephen Hawkins, Carol Burgess, Ray and Jackie, Dean Ward, Zuzu, Tim, Katie, Chris, Ruby, Jeff Williams, Dave Keane, Joel, Frida, Jules and Chris, Cleo, Mark, and Noel. We now move our attention into the healing silence to be followed by the serenity prayer, which we will say together. And please refer to the handouts which you may have taken as you came into church. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Terry, can I please ask you to take the offertory in church? And anyone wishing to make a free will donation may do so on the following link, which is also listed on our Wimbledon Spiritualist Church Facebook pages: www.paypal.com/paypalme/LADPROMS. That's www.paypal.com/paypalme/LADPROMS. Thank you, Terry. And my reading this morning is taken from a book called The Philosophy of Spiritualism, which has been co-written by Minister Barry Oates, Minister David Hopkins, and officiant Carol Austin. And it addresses the 7 principles of spiritualism. And I propose over the next few months, when I'm chairing these services, that I will cover and take readings from each individual principle from the 7 that are listed in our spiritualist philosophy. So today, the preface to the reading is as follows. Spiritualists do not claim to have complete knowledge of spiritual matters. Spiritualist philosophy draws on the wisdom of mankind that has accumulated over time and also seeks to incorporate current understanding. For that reason, the interpretation of the 7 principles set down in this book is not to be seen as absolute or definitive. As more is learned, we will understand more and be better equipped to pass on the wisdom of spirit. The intention of the book is to provide clarity and guidance on the philosophy of spiritualism. Whilst it is considered desirable to reach a consensus of ideas within spiritualism, the rights and opinions of the individual will always be accepted and valued. There is no monopoly on truth or the understanding of truth, but to have unity of purpose, a common understanding is needed. In this imperfect existence, we cannot fully comprehend perfection. We can only strive to achieve closer alignment with it. It should be understood that the equality and complete integration of male and female qualities is inherent in all wording used in the text, and the generally accepted linguistic use of the masculine gender refers to both male and female persons. The terminology employed is intended to imply a wholeness of life, not a fragmentation. The authors gratefully acknowledge the support and inspiration given by many others who reside both in this world and the next. The fatherhood of God, the first principle. God is love and light. God's love is the sustaining force of the universe and is the manifesting source of all creation. Man is part of God, but not the whole of God. God exists in all the myriad forms of life throughout the universe at one and the same time. We are all at one with our Creator and with each other. Although on a material level we experience ourselves as being separate from God, each having our own unique individuality, we are in reality linked to God and each other and can never be separated. We stand in relationship to God as a drop of water to the ocean. God is conscious of the whole of creation and is eternally aware of its needs. Although God is perfection, he is still expanding his experience through the evolution of his creation. God cannot be identified in personal terms because he is not an individual, a personal being or a deified man with human imperfections, weaknesses, and emotions. He is beyond form, since this would be a limitation on the expression of the divine spirit. But he comes into form and manifests himself through all of his creations as individualized expressions of the whole. God is neither male nor female, combining both the masculine and feminine principles in one being, and thus is better thought of as Father, Mother, God. The creation of the universe and the beginning of time are at present beyond man's understanding. But it may be hypothesized that eons ago, God existed in an awareness only of himself and that there was nothing other than God. In time, he manifested in separate form, and this synthesis of God's mind led to the creation of the complex whole, which we know as the physical universe. Particles of life arose which eventually developed into the fullness of the natural world we know today. Thus, from the realm of perfection, there arose a relative world with opposites, which has God as the directing mind and divine planner behind all that is. Even on the small globe, we see the distance to our sun, the arrangement of night and day, gravity, the tidal effects of the moon, and the other physical features of our environment, which together exactly the right conditions for human life. Science has demonstrated distances and times in the universe that are beyond our understanding. Even with the speed of light, it has taken 2,000 million years for the light of distant stars to reach us. We see them through powerful telescopes as they were 2,000 million years ago. How can we comprehend such immense distances of time? We do not know what constitutes life. We see it as manifesting in myriad forms, but cannot define it. Observation leads to the conclusion that there is a vital energy which creates and maintains all that is. But there is also a spiritual dimension that extends beyond the physical universe. We do not know exactly how the physical and spiritual intermingle, but there are things we accept but cannot yet explain. Who has not been sustained by meditation, prayer, or music when the mind has attuned with higher spiritual energy? For many, the spiritual is the more important, while the physical allows the opportunity for experiences that help personal development. Creation, both physical and spiritual, is not from a void, but is of the Great Spirit. We cannot be where God is not. This concludes the reading referencing the fatherhood of God. Thank you. Now let us take a moment to reflect on those words before Barbara demonstrates her mediumship. I would ask, please, that if a spirit communicator is drawn to you with a message, church members, please respond with a clear yes or no to the statement, or if in doubt, just say to Barbara, "I'm not sure," and then she can ask spirit for further clarification. It is important for her to hear your voice, as that is the conduit of the energy which spirit need to make a strong connection. Please, can I also ask church members to speak clearly into the hand microphone, which Julian will pass around the church. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, everyone. Let's see. I just enjoyed that reading, and I enjoyed that the last sentence that jumped out at me, that we cannot be where God is not, because that's very relevant, I feel, to us, our faith, and whatever we believe in, the power greater than ourselves. Just the very fact that we hand our troubles over to God, to nature, to a power, the very act of handing over is a great relief, I find, in having faith. Because if I only have faith in myself, if I run on my ego, then I can trip up, because it will let me down. I will make perhaps more mistakes than I need to. And I know there is probably no such thing as a mistake, I've read. It's a learning experience for our growth. And I do seem to read that quite a bit lately, that out of the toughest of times, and grief, it's a time to reinvent ourselves, to bring back the shattered part of ourselves. When we've lost somebody dear, the part that fragments, so that we never think we're going to be whole again. And we find the strength to carry on and bring ourselves back to maybe a better version of ourselves, maybe more humble, more compassionate, empathic. Everything that we are presented with is to help us to be the stronger person, to raise our vibration, so that we can be more connected to the spirit world. Even if we don't work with spirit, we all have our own guides and helpers and family and friends on the other side who are always supporting us. And when we raise our vibration, through meditation and prayer, not always in a conventional way. It can be done just walking in the park or swimming or whatever takes our mind off ourselves, when we can relax and try and let go of all the stress. Then they, our helpers, our guides, have the opportunity to come close and give us the guidance that we need, because we cannot get through this life alone. And many of us, when we get to a certain age, we've lost, we lose so many people that have been in our lives, have been constants. And so it's really important to have a strong sense of self and to know, I always say this, that we are never alone. We really aren't, because we have so many people in the spirit world that are our team. They're rooting for us. They don't want us to fail, and they don't want us to be unhappy. And I know, again, I'm going back to the subject of grief and loss. When we are very unhappy, they don't want us to stay in that condition for too long, and especially the loved one that has passed away. And I feel that's a very important message today for perhaps some of you in here have recently lost a loved one, perhaps, or it's fresh in your memory, your heart. So I say, go strong, go with God, of your understanding, and have faith that you will be taken care of. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for the address. And there are many, many wise words there to consider and to reflect upon, particularly Barbara's reference to faith, having faith in one's spiritual ascendancy over physical matter, which obviously applies very neatly to the principle of the fatherhood of God in the spiritualist 7 principles. So I think that we are now in a time of having bestowed upon us the ability to reflect on a much deeper level, and reflect not only on our own particular spiritual development and progress in this physical life, but also to consider the wider perspective, the wider picture, the bigger picture, in as much as we are not alone in this experience, and we have each other to support and care for and consider and love and respect. So thank you for those words, Barbara. And I will now hand over again to Barbara for the demonstration of mediumship.
Right. So the way I work is, I usually don't go direct, but having said that, the last demonstration I did go direct. And I think when my guide changes, or they change the way I work, so who knows? But the main thing is that I do bring forward your loved one with enough evidence that you know who's not trying. So I have a lady with me, and she's saying, I'm not trying, I'm a natural. I'm getting somebody who's a lady who's very strong-willed and very particular about her vocabulary, or well, other people's vocabulary. Don't use the wrong word when I'm not trying, I'm a natural. So this is a lady who was very linked to the spirit world before she passed away, and very irritable. I'm getting the irritability with her, but she wasn't always understood because she was a perfectionist. And of course, that doesn't always sit well with people that aren't that bothered. So, let me describe her a bit more, her looks. I see her before she passed away, lying down a lot, having to rest a lot, in poor health, not in instant shock, but a sort of a diagnosis, and then having to rest because they're very drawn to you. Yeah.
Probably someone I know.
Yes, a lady who would have known, and the family would have known that she had
Yes,
a certain time limit.
yes, yes.
And I do see your colour hair on her. I don't know.
I can't remember what colour.
Oh, okay.
So silly.
Very pretty, pretty features. Let's see. Do you understand her irritability when people didn't
She was
behave right?
quite pernickety,
Yes,
if it's the lady that I'm thinking of, yes.
yes. And yes, the regrets before she passed, some regret that she would have expressed or would have tried to, because I think she had so little energy that she couldn't really communicate fully on the last few days.
Okay, now you're sort of talking, it sounds like it's somebody else who I knew.
I've
who
got
was
another
passed away. So
Oh,
if you can give me
okay,
an age, do you know what I
okay.
mean?
She's because she's lying, she's not showing herself standing, she's lying down, and she looks about a well-preserved 75.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
she's saying well-preserved because she still had her looks.
okay.
And I feel she was a medium in her own right, very connected.
If it's the lady I'm thinking of, she was spiritual, but she wasn't actually.
Not working,
No,
but
no,
very
not at all.
connected.
Yes,
And did a lot of healing work in her own way, healing people when
no,
when she was younger.
no,
No, I feel she had that tone. Not
no.
necessarily sympathetic. She had a different way of working, and that was no nonsense. No nonsense. Not exactly saying snap out of it, but bringing people out of a funk.
Perhaps, yes, I didn't know her when she was
Alright.
younger.
I'm asking her relationship to you. I'm not getting. I'm getting an aunt maybe, or somebody that's on the peripheral of a family.
Oh, no, I'm confused now.
Alright,
Sorry,
okay.
I'm confused now as to who. I'm thinking it to make it be one person, but then
I'm getting more than one, am I? Getting a.
I don't know, one of us is getting muddled. I think it's me.
No, not this. No, I need to give you the evidence. Do you understand having double glazing? Meaning of double glazing, Lisa?
I hate it.
Oh, you hate it?
I don't want
Okay,
it.
so this is a lady that you would have had that type of relationship
Oh,
with.
okay. Yes, I've got someone now.
Oh,
Out
good.
of this, but sorry, somebody else. Yes.
Yeah, somebody who listened to your irritations
Yes,
as
yes.
well, and because that
Yes.
was her type of healing,
Yes,
as listening.
yes.
Um, she's making reference to things you do,
Okay.
writing,
I don't really write.
poetry,
No.
or something.
Lists.
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 Lists. 'Cause looks like you make lots of pages of lists.
No.
Then somebody around you does. Somebody is
Yes. Yeah.
your mum.
No, my husband.
Oh, your husband, because I don't know where I got your mum, but yeah, someone's having to write.
And my mum did write poetry.
Oh, your mum wrote poetry. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Right, so and your husband's having to jog his memory
Yeah.
by these. Yeah, it's almost like he's writing a book. So lots of love for your husband.
Thank you.
Lots of love for both of you.
Thank you.
And knowing that you've been through choppy water, it's not been plain sailing.
No.
At the moment, even that you're trying to negotiate difficult conditions.
Yes.
Yeah. So lots of love and support for you during this time.
Thank you.
And maybe to take your mind off it,
Okay,
these people that
Yeah.
you're having to, I don't know, there's some situation anyway that you know about.
Yeah.
Maybe take your mind off it by doing something creative.
okay,
I don't know if she's asking you to get your photos out and put them in a,
okay, that would be a good thing.
yeah, some sort of order.
Yes,
Yeah, and can you take Joan?
yes,
All right, she's popped in. So I'll leave their love with you and they want you to know that you're very well guarded.
thank you.
And again, you'll know what that means,
Yes.
guarded. You don't need an Alsatian.
No.
So thank you. Thank you for recognising that.
Thank you.
I have another lady coming in and she felt she was a prisoner of her condition. I'm moving away. I'm a prisoner of her illness. Feel that she couldn't go out. She resented her old age. She resented being feeble. Was still up and about in her home. I see her sitting in a chair, but she couldn't go out. She didn't have the legs to do that anymore. And felt a prisoner really, because she had been so active. And I'm going over this direction. But yes. Oh, do you? Okay. Someone who really needs a lot of your support because
Okay.
they can't go out.
That's their own, them putting a barrier up. They
Oh.
could, but they won't.
All right. But it's there's a shackle and they perhaps, as you say, self-imposed shackles.
Yes.
And the person who's giving me this information, I can't see them yet, but they're talking of their interest in photography or film work. I'm seeing Cam Tech way back. He loved making. You understand a gentleman like that? He liked filming or photography. I had quite an expensive camera, like a zoom, long lens.
Don't
No,
know. I can't recognise that.
let's see. Somebody who collects music as well. This is a very creative man. He's into all the arts, very reading, producing pictures, music, collection of CDs.
And that is someone else that's here. It's not in spirit.
Oh,
they're
another
not in
person's
spirit
here.
now.
Okay. And I'll find out who's giving me this message because they're concentrating on the work you do.
Okay.
Your support that you give to people.
Okay.
Because the gentleman that is so artistic, he's become frail, has he not?
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm getting somebody who gets dizzy.
There is health condition. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a health condition, but
Yeah.
they keep quiet about it. So I don't know how that
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah, I feel that there are times where you don't know, he looks so upright, and then other times he gets a dizziness that
Okay, I can check that out.
he would need to sit down.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
I'm sensing your mother,
Yes.
piano. I'm getting piano music.
She likes a lot of music.
Okay. Your mum is mentioning somewhere sunny, like for you to go where you're missing the sunshine. Or she's talking about the sun. It's important for you to go somewhere and relax in a warmer climate. You understand that?
It's not likely to happen, no.
Okay. But to get out more when it's sunny then. It's
Okay.
important for you to have the sun on you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not, this isn't medical advice, but
No.
I associate the sun with vitamin D.
Yeah, I take vitamin D.
Okay. She's saying that's important for you.
Mm.
And the natural sun, of course, will be lovely when it comes back in full force. As long as it's not too hot, she's saying.
No, don't need that. no.
Do you understand speaking in tongues?
I know what it relates to.
All right. Your mother is, I'm not getting a sense of her as being a dominant personality. She's very sort of holding back in the shadows. She's saying that's the role she's playing,
Okay,
like standing back and letting other people help you.
okay.
Especially with the ones that are here now that needs extra home help.
Right.
It's maybe it's what it will be on. You'll be instigation.
Yes, yes, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
know.
organising it
Yes, I understand.
because they'll slip through the net otherwise.
Mm.
Because you'll recognise their health issues before anyone else.
Okay,
And that includes family members if they have any.
yeah.
And your mother is praising you, all your different gifts, your talents, to link with the spirit world.
Okay,
The prophecy, gifts of prophecy, she's showing my attention to prophecy. But it may not have been a huge part of your life, but you're going to come into that.
well, it's occurred a couple of times in the past, yeah.
Right, so it's going to reoccur, but stronger.
Okay,
The gift of prophecy, because that will be knowledge that you'll impart to help people.
okay.
So it will be a different way of working,
Mhm.
for you not to have to be out so mobile.
Okay.
I see you concentrating on a group of people
Mm.
rather than having to get here, there, and everywhere. Does that
Okay.
make sense to you?
Okay.
It's like slowing down your travels.
I did that years ago.
Ah, you're not doing it, okay.
No.
Well, it's preparation. I think you're going to be even more drawn to a group of people
Okay.
to perhaps bring out their gifts. I suppose like a development.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. I'll leave your mother's love with you, and
Right, thank you.
I'm grateful. Thanks for the work you do.
Thank you.
I have another lady actually, and she's a healer. She's in the spirit world, and she was a healer, and she. I feel like I'm with you. Do you understand the lady? No, the lady, that gentleman. Do you understand a lady who was a healer? Yeah, quite a powerful healer. Thank you. May not have broadcast it, but would have had an important role in your life. Yeah. I'm sensing grandmother or motherly love for you. Someone who cared for you as a motherly love, someone who wanted to nurture you. Yeah. And she's been in spirit a long while, because she's saying she's taken good care of you for years.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And your wife. Do you want? Yeah, both of you. Do you know this lady?
I'm not sure, no.
She's
Well,
Your name?
It could be my name, my mum and my name.
I thought it was a grandma. Grandma, yeah. She had a conventional funeral. I feel a burial. Yes. I say conventional because that's her words. I mean, it's no longer normal, is it? But for her, it was. She's had a proper church service. So like she's not one of these quick half hours. It was a real, yeah, a real hour and a half even, a really full service. And very grateful for how you took care of that. So I don't know if you were involved in the organization. Yeah, because of flowers, of bountiful flowers. It's gone really quiet. I think before she passed, she wasn't really communicating. She seemed really quiet. Didn't really care for visitors. Did you understand that? Do you remember her before she passed?
About 60 years ago.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
but she's mentioning that because someone in your life currently has gone
Yes.
withdrawn, quiet. Yes? Someone you care about, you've noticed their personality's changed? Yeah. She's making reference to you give healing because it's a gentleman that's suffering. Do you understand? A man that's suffering with being mental health issues?
No.
Do you understand that? If you cast your mind back, you helped a young man who had almost like two personalities, but managed to keep going. He wasn't under a psychiatrist, but he kept going with this illness. Does that make sense to
I
you?
don't really remember that.
Okay. I may have moved on, so I'll ask him to stand aside. Can you take the name Brian? Brian. I think I moved.
Very casual.
Can anyone else take a gentleman who's suffered with mental health issues? Okay, so I'll leave your nan's love with you, and know that she's talking about your lifestyle. You've still got a lot to do. Because as a team, you work well together, and it won't be necessarily in the way you think it's going to be. But with your nan having been a natural healer, she's going to help you. Maybe if you have less contact with people, like clients, if you get less contact, you're going to branch out into helping another, a bit like the other message I gave just now, a group of people. I could see you running a group as well. And not necessarily conventional in a church group, but people that need to come in and have companionship. Does that make sense to you? Are you thinking of opening your home to? No? Well, just keep that in mind, that it'll be a different way of you working as you move out of one way into another, of how you've always helped people. Because you've always been out there, haven't you?
You can relate that to playing with the job.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And as that maybe winds down in the future, you'll think, oh, I missed that. Let's have a like the friendship club, tea and cake, have people around. That's what they're saying. They don't want you to your nan doesn't want you to ever break that connection with have a warm welcome.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so this gentleman, Brian, can you take the name Brian then? I'm with the lady. Yes, you said you knew him. Mental health, right. This particular young man,
Yes,
I don't know if he passed around 30.
okay,
And he kept his illness really contained.
okay,
He wasn't one of your what's he saying? He survived, he coped with it.
right,
And then he didn't,
okay,
and then he didn't cope.
right,
And that's what led to his early passing,
I see.
because he had not had the help needed. He did it on his own for too
Okay,
long. Do
right.
you understand who this is?
Sort of, I mean, I've worked a lot with people like that
Ah,
and of that ilk
of that,
in varying
right.
degrees and
I would say late 20s to 30s, somebody that also drank alcohol to
Okay.
cope.
right.
Um, and do you understand being in a fire or fire
No,
anywhere? I'm seeing fire. Is this to do with any of the young men that you've helped, that there's been a fire?
no,
No?
Somebody online saying she can take everything.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, all right, thank you. All right,
Tina.
Tina, all right, Tina, yeah. Right, so I won't repeat it because you understand this lovely young man. And yeah, the fire, I don't know if he's saying it was in a hostel or where he was staying, but it was a lot. It wasn't a little contained fire. It was do you understand a large fire that affected him? Yeah. Hmm. Well, the message for you, Tina, is that he's not forgotten you. He's grateful, again, thanking you for the help you gave him when he was trying to keep it all together, and the help you've given his family. And if you're still in contact with a family member that would appreciate hearing from him, he would love you to pass on the fact that he is out of danger, that his life was very dangerous because of what he coped with in his mind, and he's no longer in that state of mind. So I'm getting the impression that his family may not understand how it works in the spirit world, but they would like to know that he's safe and he's happy, he's well adjusted, and now he's gone to the light, which is really important because life was very dark. And that's really his message for you, thanking you and thanking his family for understanding that he couldn't help the way he was. And I'll leave that with you. Thank you, Tina. Oh, good. Thank you, Tina. So I have another, hi, who do I have? I'm getting a lot of spiritual workers that are coming through today. This is a psychic artist that somebody here will have known, a psychic artist. Again, may not have been a so-called professional, but would have done a lot of drawn faces. I feel I'm going to you, I can't remember your name, sorry, with the microphone. Do you understand, Julian, a psychic artist?
I understand the psychic artist, but he's here. He's
Oh,
not.
he's here as well.
Yeah.
All right. When we bring someone forward who's here, that means they need support.
Okay.
Usually there's something going on in their lives, physically, mentally, emotionally.
It's possible. Yeah.
All right. And
Because
if you want to reach out to him,
I'm not sure how I can help him, but
well, if you're not able to do that directly, then prayer.
okay.
Send out and the healing list. Yeah, prayers and the healing list. Because I think he's jumped in with this message for you because he relates to the young man that I've just brought forward who had all these turmoil,
Okay.
scrambled thoughts. Because he's very artistic.
Yeah,
He's-
he has a catalog with pictures.
Yes,
Not pictures, painting.
portraits.
Portraits. Yeah, he did.
Yes. And he could be if he gets this, if he becomes stabilized with whatever he's going through, once he becomes grounded again, because he will, then he could use his gift to be a psychic artist.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
I hope he will.
Right. Well, I always think that if people aren't going to do it in this life, they'll do it in the next life. There's no endings. You know, if we have a gift, it's not going to end when we pass. Understand? That is his gift, that he will be involved in psychic art.
Yes, I understand, but as I said, he's here. He
Yes.
didn't.
Yes. And at some point he will become that.
I hope so, and I wish to him
Yeah.
to be like that.
Do you understand an uncle in the spirit world? An uncle or brother who was an uncle, I'm guessing.
No, not uncle.
Remember when we were young, we would call a family friend uncle? This is
Okay, yeah.
this is a gentleman who was there in your childhood, around the family.
Yes, I vaguely remember. I cannot.
Okay, this is a man who's taken an interest in your hobbies, passions in life. And I'm seeing the camera, that your love of taking images to keep for forever.
Photo.
Photo?
I used someone taught me how to do photo with old cameras, old type of cameras, and developing the film and making pictures in the chemical.
Oh yes, yes. He's supporting you in your passion for creating imageries. It helps you. It's good for your soul.
Okay.
He's encouraging you to do more of it if you're not already doing it enough. To create more, I don't know if it's photo libraries or video libraries, but where life is captured on celluloid or however for the future generations.
Yeah. Okay. I do pretty many creative things, I think. I'm making music as well.
Right. Well, whatever it is, it's there for the other people to. There's a word that I'm not being told the word, but it's there for the next generations. It's for you to do this important work, to create things that, like a historical account. So he's saying, go bigger.
Yeah, I understand. I am attracted to this. I like to
Yeah.
create, generally
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah, think bigger. Think bigger. And I'll leave his love with you, because he must have been also very interested in creativities. He likes working with you because he likes that you, as I said in my address, get out of your head, get out of thinking, and go into your channeling your work you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I understand that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. I do feel drawn to the lady at the back with the scarf. Yes. I'm sensing a grandmother with you, or your mum, but someone who was very old-fashioned, motherly, very huggy, comfortable to be with, but stood no nonsense.
Yes,
Yeah. Grandmother?
yeah, the grandmother's in,
In the spirit world?
yeah,
Yeah.
and mum,
Pardon me?
and mother.
And
as
your
well.
mum. Right, this is a lady who is quite broad on the hips.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I know who you're thinking of.
Right. Do you understand how she passed? Do you have your memory of her passing?
Yes,
Because she's talking about suffering, the pain.
not the grandma. I don't know.
This is a lady who's quite broad on the hips, very motherly, very loving, but also very no nonsense. I feel like I'm going back to your childhood days.
No, that could be Heather. I thought that. It's not a grandmother or a mother.
Not yours,
No,
but she was in your childhood. This is somebody who was very loving towards you and children.
not in my childhood.
No? Am I with the lady next? No. Oh, two of you. Okay. Sorry, I'm a bit off.
And she did suffer with her passing. We
Right.
didn't realise she had a heart attack. We thought she had indigestion.
Oh,
So several hours before we actually got well, in fact, she died in our arms before the ambulance even came, after several hours of what we thought was indigestion.
right.
And she was surrounded by children. We lived
okay.
all together.
And
as
a
family.
good lot of faith in God.
Oh, yes,
I'm praying
Yeah.
a lot.
yes.
And she's coming in to end the service today with lovely, so much love for
Yes.
the room, people.
Thank you. That was definitely her.
Yeah, and saying that because it was undiagnosed,
Yes,
it was like angina, she had
Yes.
pains,
yes. Mhm,
and she would have appreciated prayers at the time,
mhm.
but of course no one knew.
No,
But she appreciates the prayers since, because when she transitioned, there was, I think, a circle of you prayed for her to go to the light. Does that make sense?
well, it was before I was a spiritualist, but she was the first close
Oh.
passing of somebody that, and we sat with her several hours after she'd passed.
Well,
So spoke
you must
to
have been
her.
a natural even in those
Yeah.
days, because she's saying you helped her to go to the light with the love that you're
Yes,
giving her.
Yes,
She said that your love didn't switch off once she left,
no,
because you knew that
Mhm.
she
absolutely.
wasn't an ending.
Yes,
And so she's got,
Yes.
this is a lovely message for you and for anyone else who doesn't understand that.
thank you.
Yeah, there is no ending, and they are going to deep sigh of relief that you are doing what you're doing
Thank you.
and doing so well now. And you're helping, there's somebody currently, do you know someone currently on life support?
I've known a couple that have passed over the last few weeks.
Oh, but she's
Um,
bringing them forward,
Okay.
the ones that were hooked up
Mm.
to machinery. Just to demonstrate that they're here with thanks as well.
Thank you.
And something about doors. You have new doors?
Understand that.
Okay,
Yes, it's significant. Our other church.
right. Yeah, so again, evidence that it's,
Yes.
she understands what's happening.
Mhm.
So I'm going to close on that lovely note. She's such a beautiful person. The spirit is filling this whole room.
Thank you. She was a very loving
Mm.
lady. And
Yeah.
I have to say to you, the doors, because it's so accurate. We've had a new toilet at Hackbridge Church and they put the wrong door on.
Oh,
And they've had to order a new door because they put it on upside down as well.
oh,
So,
men.
right. And I have to say, because I will never take somebody else's message, but with Julian, I'm doing the pictorial history and a psychic art history. And I've been looking at various psychic artists from the past just in the last couple of days. And was only thinking this morning, I wonder if this person has gone or not, because I knew some of the very famous psychic artists of our religion.
Okay.
But thank you very much.
Oh, you're
Thank you.
welcome. It's been lovely to work with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for an uplifting demonstration. And also I have Tina, who you gave a message to online, saying a message for Julian. You have such a beautiful voice, Julian.
Thank you. Thank you.
So here we have some notices before the close of this service. Our guest medium on Sunday, February the 23rd at 11 a.m. is Mary Dixie. Please note the healing clinic is every Tuesday 7 till 8:15 and Thursday 10 a.m. until 12 noon for members of the community and animals. You will always be greeted by our healer practitioners in a safe, friendly and welcoming atmosphere, and free will donations apply. New events for winter 2025 include, and here comes a big plug, My Friendship Club, which starts again this coming Thursday at 6:45 for a 7 p.m. prompt start. Now, this is a perfect opportunity for working and developing mediums to sharpen and practice their evidential mediumship, psychic art, inspirational speaking, and platform presentation skills in a nurturing and encouraging environment. So anybody that is a little bit hesitant about working outside of their comfort zone, you probably need to think twice about this, because I do push and encourage, but in a very caring way, all our participants to really work beyond what they think they are capable of. And we do get some very remarkable results. So even if you are a medium who has been working for many years on platform, but think that you would like to extend your ability or to polish your craft, please do come along and support the event. And we are most grateful also for everyone that comes as an audience member to support and encourage the working mediums. So that is this coming Thursday, 6:45 for 7 p.m. prompt start. The other plug today is for Reverend Dawn Collinson's new Open Circle for developing mediums. This is a perfect opportunity for you to deepen your connection with spirit in a supportive and welcoming environment. Dawn is starting this circle, running this circle on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of every month, starting at 7 p.m. The first few sessions are on March the 13th and 27th and April the 10th and 24th. All this information is on our Wimbledon Spiritualist Church Facebook pages. Further dates will be announced shortly. The cost per attendance is £7 per person, and you can pay on the night. There is no advance booking, so don't feel that you have to commit up front to a lengthy course. You can pay on the door on the evening, And this is very helpful if you wish to attend. So that is Dawn Collinson's Development Circle. Now, the next point I want to make is that crystal healing with Rachel Davis is available at Wimbledon and Hackbridge Spiritualist churches. This is a therapy to rebalance, re-energize, and relax the mind, body, and spirit. This is £35 per half-hour session, and you can either contact Rachel direct on her number, which we will print on the WSC Facebook page, or you can phone the church to book an appointment with Rachel directly. There is a demonstration of mediumship with Sandra Stevenson at Hackbridge Church on Friday, February the 28th at 7:30, and the admission is £5. Please keep up to date with activities and special events, courses, workshops, and demonstration on our Facebook pages, Instagram, and social media, where you will find links to pre-event booking facilities. So that concludes the notices, and now I will ask Barbara, please, to give us the closing prayer.
Mother, Father, God, Divine Spirit, thank you for such a beautiful, loving energy permeates this church, this wonderful building. Thank you to everyone that helps to keep the door open for us to come in and celebrate life after life, celebrate the love that we are given, and to know that we are loved, that we are never alone. I thank my guides and helpers for always coming through and giving me the information that is required. And let us have a wonderful rest of the day. Let us go in love and light and feel blessed. Amen.
Thank you again, Barbara. And I'd just like to close us out today on a little piece of writing by Paulo Coelho from his Manual of the Warrior of Light. You can recognize a warrior of light by the look in his eye. Warriors of light are in the world. They form part of the world, and they were sent into the world without saddlebags or sandals. They are often cowardly. They do not always act correctly. Warriors of light are wounded by the most foolish things, and they worry about trivialities. They believe themselves incapable of growing. Warriors of light sometimes believe themselves unworthy of any blessing or miracle. Warriors of light often ask themselves what they are doing here. Often they find their lives meaningless. That is why they are warriors of light. Because they fail, because they ask questions, because they keep looking for a meaning. And in the end, they will find it. Thank you. Have a lovely week ahead, and God bless you all. Thank you. Barbara, would you step forward, please? Thank you very much
Yeah,
for
thanks.
today's
Thanks,
service.
Phil.
God bless.
Thank you.